She wore a yellow ribbon showed us a veteran officer racing to prevent bloodshed before his final day in uniform. Yet time proved far more relentless than the battlefield itself. Today, every member of this legendary cast is gone, making their remarkable journeys more meaningful than ever. Join us as we look back at their extraordinary lives, remarkable careers, and the timeless legacy they left behind. John Agar as Lieutenant Flint Cohill. John Agar was born on January 31, 1921. At 28 years old, he played Lieutenant Flint Cohill, a capable and disciplined junior officer who balanced enthusiasm with respect for the chain of command in the film. Cohill's character stood out as a contrast to more impulsive subordinates, highlighting the professionalism required in frontier operations. Agar's personal life was turbulent during his career. His first marriage to Shirley Temple drew massive media attention, and the pressures of fame contributed to his struggles with alcoholism. These difficulties led to several arrests for driving under the influence and the eventual breakdown of the marriage, creating one of Hollywood's most notorious celebrity dramas of the era. Despite setbacks, Agar rebuilt his career and remarried, managing to overcome alcohol dependency. He continued acting in over 90 films, mainly westerns and B-movie science fiction titles, including Tarantula, 1955, and The Mole People, 1956, maintaining a steady presence in genre cinema. John Agar later battled emphysema, a condition linked to long-term health complications, and passed away on April 7, 2002, at the age of 81. His career remains emblematic of a performer navigating Hollywood's intense spotlight while enduring personal and professional turbulence. Joanne Drew as Olivia Dandridge. Joanne Drew was born on January 31, 1922. At 27 years old, she played Olivia Dandridge, a spirited and graceful frontier woman whose presence brought emotional depth and romantic nuance to the story. Olivia's character highlighted resilience and intelligence, making her stand out among the women in the film. Drew's personal life was marked by tumultuous relationships. She experienced 4 marriages, beginning with singer Dick Hames, which ended in bitter financial disputes. Her second marriage to actor John Ireland was similarly fraught with tension due to conflicting careers, creating ongoing public speculation. These challenges mirrored the hardships of balancing personal and professional life that she navigated throughout Hollywood. Despite her marital difficulties, Drew enjoyed a successful career in classic westerns and adventure films, including Red River and Wagon Master, which cemented her reputation as a leading lady of the genre. She maintained her professional poise even amid personal turmoil, consistently delivering compelling performances that resonated with audiences. Joanne Drew passed away on September 10, 1996, at the age of 74 due to complications from lymphedema, which weakened her immune system and led to respiratory infections. Her contributions to Western cinema and her complex personal journey remain part of Hollywood history. John Wayne, as Captain Nathan Cutting Brittles. John Wayne was born on May 26, 1907, in Winterset, Iowa. At 42 years old, he played Captain Nathan Cutting Brittles, a disciplined cavalry officer whose steady leadership kept his troops focused during dangerous frontier missions in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. This role emphasized Wayne's trademark authority and rugged charisma, distinguishing him from other Western heroes of the era. Behind the camera, Wayne faced intense pressures. The production of The Alamo, 1960, which he directed, produced, and starred in, demanded massive personal investment. He mortgaged his own assets and poured in his savings to fund the film. Simultaneously, public controversy over his political statements and conservative commentary stirred ongoing debate, adding stress to his career and personal life. Wayne's health was another major challenge. Decades of heavy smoking led to lung cancer and surgery in 1964, including the removal of his left lung and ribs. Despite these serious issues, he continued acting and producing until his final years. John Wayne passed away on June 11, 1979, at UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles at age 72 due to stomach cancer. He remains an iconic figure in American cinema, celebrated for his legendary roles and influence on the Western genre. Carey Jr. as Second Lieutenant. Ross Pennell. Carey Jr. was born on May 16, 1921, in Santa Monica, California. At 28 years old, he played Second Lieutenant Ross Pennell, a junior officer whose loyalty and moral compass helped guide the cavalry during tense frontier operations in the film. This role highlighted Pennell's dedication and idealism, contrasting with the more hardened, battle-weary officers in the unit. On set, Carey faced the intense pressures of working under John Ford, whose exacting standards and frequent harsh criticisms created psychological stress for the young actor. Balancing this with his early career ambitions, Carey had to navigate a demanding environment that tested both his skill and resilience, while also participating in other notable Ford films like The Searchers and Three Godfathers. Outside the camera, Carey married Marilyn Fix, daughter of actor Paul Fix, in 1944. Their marriage endured for 68 years, providing a stable anchor amid the unpredictable world of Hollywood and supporting Carey through the challenges of an intense acting career. Carey Jr. passed away on December 27, 2012, at his home in Santa Barbara at age 91 due to natural causes. He left behind a legacy of over 90 films and hundreds of television appearances, celebrated as a key member of the John Ford Stock Company. Ben Johnson as Sergeant Tyree. Ben Johnson was born on June 13, 1918, in Foraker, Oklahoma. At 31 years old, he played Sergeant Tyree, a grounded cavalry sergeant whose practical experience and calm judgment provided crucial support to the officer corps. His authentic cowboy presence brought unmatched realism to the role. Johnson's career was filled with unique challenges. Transitioning from a rodeo cowboy and stuntman into Hollywood acting, he faced physical demands on set and the constant pressure of being typecast in westerns. However, he still won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor and Oscar for The Last Picture Show, 1971. In his personal life, Johnson married Carol Elaine Jones in 1941, and they shared a devoted partnership for 53 years until her death in 1994. They had no children, and Johnson maintained a close connection to ranching and rural life alongside his acting career. Ben Johnson passed away on April 8, 1996, at age 77, from a heart attack while visiting his mother at a retirement home in Mesa, Arizona. He is remembered for his authentic performances and the stability he maintained in his personal life. Victor McLaglen as Top Sergeant, Quincannon. Victor McLaglen was born on December 10, 1886, in Tunbridge Wells, Kent, England. At 62 years old, he played Top Sergeant Quincannon, a larger-than-life sergeant whose commanding presence and gruff humor provided both authority and comic relief within the cavalry. Quincannon's character served as a foil to the more serious officers, balancing discipline with earthy charm. McLaglen's life was marked by both triumphs and hardships. A former heavyweight boxer, he had transitioned into acting, winning the Oscar for Best Actor for The Informer, 1935, and earning a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. His personal life was turbulent. He went through 3 marriages, with the early death of his first wife, Enid Lamont, in 1942, leaving deep emotional scars. In addition, McLaglen faced scrutiny and investigations during World War II due to his private sporting and political organizations. Despite these challenges, McLaglen maintained a prolific acting career in both film and theater, appearing in classics such as Gunga Din, 1939, and The Quiet Man, 1952. His commanding screen presence made him a staple in John Ford's films, often embodying the archetypal rugged soldier or authority figure. Victor McLaglen passed away suddenly on November 7, 1959, in Los Angeles, California, at age 72 due to a heart attack. His legacy endures as one of the most memorable character actors of Hollywood's golden age. Mildred Natwick as Abby Allshard. Mildred Natwick was born on June 19, 1905. At 44 years old, she played Abby Allshard, a refined and steadfast matriarch whose calm demeanor provided a moral compass for her family. This role emphasized her warmth and subtle authority, differentiating her from other supporting characters in the cavalry narrative. On set, Natwick balanced her film work with a celebrated stage career, earning an Academy Award nomination for Barefoot in the Park, 1967, and an Emmy for television performances. Despite her success, she maintained a fiercely private life, choosing never to marry and carefully avoiding the public scrutiny that ensnared many contemporaries. Her independence and dedication to her craft allowed her to navigate Hollywood on her own terms. Natwick continued acting into her later years, bringing gravitas to each role she undertook. She appeared in a mix of film, television, and stage productions, including Barefoot in the Park, 1967, Three Women, 1977, and numerous Broadway plays and teleplays, leaving a legacy as one of America's most respected character actresses. Mildred Natwick passed away on October 25, 1994, at her Manhattan home at the age of 89, after a long battle with cancer. Her disciplined, private life and enduring contributions to stage and screen remain widely admired. George O'Brien, as Major Mac Allshard. George O'Brien was born on March 24, 1899. At 50 years old, he played Major Mac Allshard, a seasoned officer whose disciplined leadership and quiet authority helped stabilize the cavalry's operations in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. This role emphasized the gravitas and experience of a senior officer, distinguishing him from the younger, impulsive characters in the unit. On set and off, O'Brien faced a career in transition. Once a silent film star renowned for Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, 1927, he struggled to adapt to the era of talkies. The shift exposed his limitations with vocal performance in sound films, reducing his opportunities and forcing him into lower-budget westerns. His personal life also carried weighty challenges, including a divorce from actress Marguerite Churchill in 1948 after years of marital strain. Despite these hardships, O'Brien maintained his professionalism, appearing in dozens of B-westerns and action films, including The Last Outpost, 1951, and Red River, 1948. His dedication to craft remained evident, even as the spotlight dimmed compared to his silent film heyday. George O'Brien suffered a severe stroke in 1981 that left him partially paralyzed. He spent the last 4 years of his life confined to bed, passing away on September 4, 1985, at the age of 86 due to heart failure. His legacy is remembered as a bridge between the silent era and the Western genre. Arthur Shields as Dr. O'Laughlin. Arthur Shields was born on February 15, 1896. At 53 years old, he played Dr. O'Laughlin, the steadfast and compassionate physician who quietly anchored the wounded and sick soldiers in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. The role highlighted his calm authority and moral integrity, distinguishing him from other supporting characters in the rugged Western setting. Shields had already built a distinguished career in Hollywood, appearing in over 70 films, including How Green Was My Valley and The Quiet Man. While his professional life was successful, his early years were marked by political upheaval. He participated in the 1916 Easter Rising in Ireland before emigrating to the United States to pursue acting. The transition demanded resilience, discipline, and adaptation to a new cultural landscape. Off-screen, Shields maintained a relatively private personal life. He married Aideen O'Connor and lived a steady life. His devotion to family and craft remained central throughout his career, with notable appearances in The Quiet Man, 1952, and My Son John, 1952, showcasing his talent while balancing a stable home life. Arthur Shields passed away on April 27, 1970, at the age of 74 in Santa Barbara, California, due to complications from chronic respiratory illness and emphysema. His legacy endures as a pioneering Irish actor who brought authenticity and depth to every role he played. Tom Tyler, as Corporal Mike Quain. Tom Tyler was born on August 9, 1903. At 46 years old, he played Corporal Mike Quain, a disciplined and loyal corporal whose courage and steady presence under fire provided critical support to the commanding officers in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. The character underscored Tyler's signature heroism and action-oriented style, setting him apart from other supporting soldiers in the film. Tyler's career began in the silent action westerns and serials of the 1920s and 1930s, with his most famous role as Captain Marvel in The Adventures of Captain Marvel, 1941. However, in the early 1940s, he was diagnosed with acute rheumatoid arthritis, a debilitating genetic condition that caused joint deformities and excruciating pain, forcing him to step away from many physically demanding roles. Despite these challenges, he continued occasional acting where possible, demonstrating perseverance and dedication to his craft. Financial hardships compounded his struggles. The cost of treatment and inability to work regularly led to serious economic strain, and Tyler spent his final years in relative isolation. His personal life remained private, with no public records of marriage or children, reflecting his retreat from the Hollywood spotlight. Tom Tyler passed away on May 3, 1954, at the age of 50 due to heart failure and complications from scleroderma. Despite a career cut short by illness, he remains celebrated as one of the iconic action heroes of early American cinema, remembered for his courage both on and off screen. Fred Graham as Sergeant Hench. Fred Graham was born on October 26, 1908. At 41 years old, he played Sergeant Hench, a tough, disciplined, non-commissioned officer whose precision and strength added realism to the military scenes. His portrayal distinguished him as a physically capable and dependable presence, supporting the main officers while executing high-risk stunts with remarkable skill. Graham's career was built on athleticism and versatility. A former professional football player, he transitioned into Hollywood as a stuntman and supporting actor, participating in over 100 films. Notably, he performed stunts in Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, 1958, demonstrating daring precision. Despite the glamour of film work, he endured countless injuries, including broken bones and long recoveries from stunt accidents, which made every performance physically taxing and fraught with danger. Outside the studio, Graham maintained a disciplined personal life, but faced the constant anxiety and physical toll of stunt work. His commitment to safety and technique earned him respect among directors and fellow stunt performers, though the repeated injuries took a cumulative toll over the years. Fred Graham passed away on October 10, 1979, at the age of 70, due to a sudden heart attack. His legacy endures through the countless films where his stunt work elevated the action and authenticity, leaving a lasting imprint on Hollywood's golden era. Noble Johnson as Chief Red Shirt. Noble Johnson was born on April 18, 1881. At 68 years old, he played Chief Red Shirt, the commanding and dignified Native American leader who guided his people with wisdom and authority in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. The role showcased Johnson's stature, charisma, and ability to convey leadership, making him distinct from other supporting characters and giving depth to the representation of indigenous leaders on screen. Throughout his career, Johnson was a trailblazer in Hollywood as one of the first prominent black actors and founder of the Lincoln Motion Picture Company, the first African-American-owned film studio. He appeared in over 140 films, including King Kong, 1933, and The Ten Commandments, 1923, but his talents were often constrained by the severe racial biases of the era. He was repeatedly cast in stereotypical roles, such as tribal chiefs, antagonists, or slaves, limiting the range of characters he could portray. Johnson's personal life reflected resilience. He retired relatively early, living quietly in New York and participating occasionally in local cultural programs to preserve Native American heritage. He dedicated his time to community events, mentoring young actors, and maintaining his family life, focusing on personal fulfillment rather than fame. Noble Johnson passed away on January 9, 1978, at the age of 96. His death was due to natural causes, marking the end of a remarkable life that paved the way for generations of African-American performers in Hollywood. Chief John Bigtree as Chief Pony. That walks. Chief John Bigtree was born on June 2, 1877. At 72 years old, he played Chief Pony that walks, a wise and stoic Native American leader whose calm authority helped mediate tensions between the soldiers and indigenous characters in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. This role highlighted his dignified presence and cultural authenticity, making his character distinct from other Native representations in the film. Throughout his career, Bigtree appeared in more than 30 films, often cast as tribal leaders or elders, bringing credibility and gravitas to each performance, including notable appearances in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, 1949, and The Last of the Mohicans, 1936. He is also historically notable as one of the real-life models featured on the United States Indian head nickel. These experiences led him to spend much of his later life in seclusion. He occasionally joined educational programs and cultural events to preserve Native American heritage. Notable films from this period include Broken Arrow, 1950, and The Man from the Alamo, 1953, where he portrayed tribal leaders with dignity. Chief John Bigtree passed away on July 6, 1967, at the age of 90 at the Onondaga Reservation in New York. He lived his final years in the community where he was deeply respected, leaving a legacy as both an actor and a cultural icon. Rudy Bowman as Private John Smith / Rome Clay. Rudy Bowman was born on December 15, 1889. At 59 years old, he appeared in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, 1949, as Private John Smith / Rome Clay, taking on supporting roles that required expressive physical acting rather than dialogue. His performances added depth to background military characters, bringing nuance to soldiers who might otherwise have been forgotten in the vast cinematic landscape. Bowman's life was marked by the enduring impact of World War I, where he suffered a severe injury in France that resulted in the loss of his larynx. This trauma forced him to develop a unique abdominal voice technique to speak, profoundly shaping the types of roles he could accept in Hollywood. He was limited to non-speaking or minimal dialogue parts, making each performance a careful balance of physical expression and presence. Over his career, he appeared in more than 40 films, often as background characters or minor supporting roles, including appearances in They Died with Their Boots On, 1941, and Sergeant York, 1941. Despite these limitations, Bowman persevered in a highly competitive industry, earning respect for his adaptability, professionalism, and dedication to his craft. Rudy Bowman passed away on October 29, 1972, at the age of 81 in Los Angeles due to a heart attack. His resilience in overcoming wartime injury and continuing to contribute to film remains a testament to his determination and commitment to his profession. George Sky Eagle as Chief Sky Eagle. George Sky Eagle was born on November 15, 1888, in Michigan, USA. At 61 years old, he played Chief Sky Eagle, the respected Native American tribal leader, in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, 1949. His portrayal brought dignity and authority to the character, giving the film an authentic representation of Native American leadership during frontier conflicts. During the filming and afterward, Sky Eagle navigated significant challenges as a Native American actor in early Hollywood. He often faced limited opportunities and typecasting, typically cast in tribal leader or elder roles. Despite these restrictions, he built a steady career in cinema, appearing in films such as Fort Apache, 1948, and Rio Grande, 1950, consistently lending credibility and depth to his characters. Off-screen, Sky Eagle's life was marked by modesty and resilience. He lived quietly, focusing on family and personal pursuits while avoiding the harsher scrutiny of the film industry. George Sky Eagle passed away on March 6, 1955, in Los Angeles, California, at the age of 66. His legacy endures as one of the early Native American actors who brought authenticity, respect, and poise to Hollywood, remembered for both his on-screen presence and his dedication to his community. Paul Fix as Gunrunner. Paul Fix was born on March 13, 1901. At 48 years old, he played the Gunrunner, a shrewd and cunning arms dealer whose actions drove tension and conflict in the frontier setting. His role brought a morally ambiguous layer to the film, highlighting the perils that the soldiers faced and distinguishing him from the straightforward lawmen and settlers. During the filming, Fix had to balance his established career with the physical and dramatic demands of portraying a tense antagonist. With over 300 film and television appearances, including his iconic role as Sheriff Micah Torrance in The Rifleman, he was accustomed to high expectations, yet the relentless schedule and travel for Western productions often left him exhausted. Off-screen, Fix faced personal trials as well. He was married to Frances Toucey Minor from 1922 until her death in 1960, a partnership that lasted nearly 4 decades and provided stability amid his demanding career. His family life was closely intertwined with Hollywood. His daughter married fellow actor Carey Jr., creating a legacy that connected generations within the industry. Paul Fix passed away on October 14, 1983, at the age of 82 in Los Angeles due to kidney failure. He left behind a vast body of work and a family deeply embedded in Hollywood, remembered both for his versatility on screen and his steadfast commitment to family. Mickey Simpson as Corporal Wagner. Mickey Simpson was born on December 3, 1913 in the United States. At 35 years old, he played Corporal Wagner, the rugged and imposing corporal, in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, 1949. His performance highlighted Wagner's brute strength and loyalty, making him stand out among the cavalry soldiers. Simpson's early Hollywood years were shaped by physical labor and brief boxing stints in Los Angeles. He appeared in small roles in westerns and dramas, often as tough guys or guards. World War II interrupted his career when he served as a Coast Guard patrolman, and after the war, John Ford cast him in steady character roles, including My Darling Clementine and 9 other Ford films. Off-screen, Simpson married Danny Sue Nolan and focused on his family while steadily working in over 175 film and TV productions. He became known for his reliability and distinctive presence, even in minor or uncredited roles in shows like The Lone Ranger and Cheyenne. Simpson passed away on September 23, 1985, in Northridge, California, at the age of 71 due to heart failure. His career left a lasting mark as a dedicated character actor, remembered for the physicality and authenticity he brought to every role. So that's the story of the She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, 1949, in 2026. Which cast member's journey surprised you the most, and whose legacy do you still remember today? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more then and now updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.